Okay, we're getting out of here because we've got reports of another shooting. Somebody was shot in the head. I am at the home of Mr. Marcus, who is a journalist, and right now we're looking at, what is this, a crime map?
Crime map. We're going to figure out where we're going to stake out tonight.
Okay, so it is night crawling time. This is what Marcus does. I don't know to what extent you're a night crawler, but you do this fairly often, right? All right, he's laughing. Okay. But we, in the past minute or so, I've already gotten several alerts that on the south side of Chicago, there's been multiple shots fired at more than one location. I'm from the south side of Chicago, so when, you know, I'm in Chicago visiting back home for a quick second, I hit up Marcus because I know that he's a night crawler, and I said, let's go for a ride. Let's, you know, give people a view of night crawling in Chicago because we always hear how bad it is. So here's the thing: I was in Sweden, I was in Germany. I was in Brussels briefly, Greece, and everyone talks about how these areas are dangerous and there are these no-go zones. Let's compare some of that coverage I did in those European cities to Chicago.
All right, so what we're looking at here is 010. It's the police district that's the most dangerous police district in the city. 5 homicides so far this year, and they're all clustered around this little area of 4 blocks. 1, 2, 3, 4, and what you have here is you have this completely open lot where there's just absolutely nothing and a ton of like little nooks and crannies where you can hide things, and then a heavily dense populated area here filled with abandoned houses. And if I can find it.
So why is there a high density of murder and crime in this area?
This is where the drug dealing happened. This is where all the drugs are. I mean, this is where all the drugs are. This is where all the gangs are.
This video means that I'm not getting any sleep tonight because it's what, like 10:15?
We'll end probably around 2.
And then I'll edit probably around 2.
I always have the light up. I don't like it when it flashes.
I like it.
So there's a ton of stuff going on already. Fighting apparently. More shots fired, all that good stuff. But there's also a whole lot of just waiting around.
Unit that's on Madison Pulaski, what's your call, sir? 316 boy.
So we got a person down at Madison and Pulaski.
I don't know what the deal is. I don't need to yell.
Okay.
I got it. And fire's coming. We got the person down on the board, okay? Okay, I was just trying to convey to have any units take a slow down. This is just a medical emergency.
Oh, it's medical. We're not going.
Okay. Nope. It's a medical emergency. Okay, 1641 South Karlov. What are we hearing? Shots fired?
Person shot.
A person shot. I think this is like the 10th person shot today.
What?
It's like the 10th person shot today.
Hell knows. Actually, yeah, you're right with the one on 66. And if this ends up being nothing, we'll head down to 66 because it looks like Englewood's popping.
See, the cops are leaving. Well, we're seeing a bunch of cop cars, but it looks like they're all leaving. It's another aspect of night crawling. You might get there not soon enough.
Oh yeah, this is empty.
It's all over?
This is the intersection right here, Karlov and 16. This is where it allegedly did not happen.
Well, we're hearing shots fired down by 70th.
All right, so let's head south. We'll pull over.
We are at the site of a double shooting. We can see.
If they make it through, we can go up.
If they make what through? No, it doesn't look like it.
You move, I move just like that, baby. That's right. That's it. I ain't even looking back. Fuck that. I am gonna go home. No. Hello. Girl, stand out here.
Beautiful. That's exactly what you want. Oh, no, turn that back over here. Perfect.
So they're shining the lights on us. Marcus has got his camera set up, but things are pretty quiet. So what's that red tape?
Interior crime scene. A lot of people think that it's a homicide tape, but it's just interior crime scene tape. It does happen to come out a lot when there's a homicide.
But it could be for a lot of things.
Yeah.
So it's kind of hard to see, but there's yellow tape right here, and there's red tape going around where the actual incident happened. So this is the site of a double shooting. 2 people were shot. Seems like they were just wounded, though. All right, we gonna check out the next site?
Yeah.
All right. So, you know, sometimes when you get here, that's about what it is, right?
This is what it's like a lot of the time.
Yeah, not much to
90% of
see.
the time it's like this. 10% of the time it's complete and utter chaos.
Yeah,
People
so-
running around and screaming.
Well, if we get there soon enough.
Yeah.
But not too far from here, there's already been a couple other shootings. One person was killed. I believe it was an 18-year-old shot in the back, dead on arrival.
70 seconds.
Yeah, at 72nd and Artisan.
Can you be more specific about what that
Was this one possibly related to the one that was over on 66?
On Campbell?
Yeah.
Yeah, they happened right back to back. They were shooting from the alley over there, and
Oh, wow.
I know one of them didn't make it. Told you.
So we just walked up and the officer told us that, well, first he told us we were a little late, but I asked him if the shooting here was related at all to the shooting over on 66th and Campbell, and he said that might be the case because they were just back to back, and it's a really close location, so it seems likely.
Beautiful.
We are rolling up on our 3rd double shooting of the night. So it sounds weird, but basically we've gone to 3 scenes of double shootings.
Come on, let's go.
So we just saw an ambulance and the fire engine pull out. So we've still got some police presence here. But you know what? This is about it. This is about what you see. So this time, we actually got here much sooner following the shooting than we did the other 2 locations. They haven't put up police crime scene tape yet or anything like that. And we still have one of the police vehicles here with this lights on. We still got an ambulance and 2 other police SUVs. So a woman just came out of her house and was asking me what had happened, and I explained to her this is a double shooting, And you know, it's interesting. This neighborhood looks relatively nice. It's not like a lot of the other neighborhoods you go to where it's obvious gang territory and there's a lot of people in the streets and a lot of commotion. And when you look at this house, it's got the American flag on it, and it's not, it's atypical. And the lady looked at me and she went, she's into drugs. So at least for now, based on what at least one of the neighbors has been saying, I'm assuming that it's probably drug related, that maybe the person who lived there owed some money, and yeah, I don't know. Okay, we're getting out of here because we've got reports of another shooting. Somebody was shot in the head. I thought this was going to be our last one, but
I thought so too.
yeah, I guess not. So this is Chicago and Central Park, and we are pretty late to the scene once again, but it's usually how it happens. You hear it on the scanner, you get here as soon as you can. So we started this, we started out around, I believe it was 10 p.m. Right now it's 3:31 a.m. here in Chicago, and we've been to 4 different scenes, and that is not nearly all of the shootings that have taken place. There were, I believe, 9 or so shootings before we even started throughout the day, maybe more. So this is at least 12th or 13th. We went to our first site, which was a double shooting, 2 people injured, shot in the hand and the leg, I believe. Then we went to another shooting, which was a fatality. 18-year-old was shot in the chest and back, killed, DOA, and a 59-year-old was shot. We went to Karlov, which was another double shooting, and we believe no one there was killed, but just two young men were injured, shot in the arms and thigh. And now this is the 4th we've been to. It's at Chicago and Central Park, and this one was a gunshot wound to the head, which was another fatality. These were the shootings that we were able to get to. Basically, a lot of time was spent just kind of sitting around because, we hear on the scanner what's happening in Chicago, and we can't be everywhere. So Marcus has a lot of experience doing this, a lot more experience than I do. And basically we picked a zone, we picked an area where we could move about and get as quickly as possible to certain sites. And then these are the ones we were able to get to. This one's a bit further away from where we were before, but we decided to hit it up because it made sense heading back to wrap up. The goal was, I guess, I don't say the goal, but we thought the last double shooting was going to be the last one. And it turns out there was at least one more. And, we were planning on getting back before 2. And now it's 3:31 because this is the reality of Chicago. This stuff just keeps happening. I grew up here, and so I'm used to it, I suppose. I don't live here anymore. But I think this is really interesting to come down here and to see, kind of the stuff that Marcus does. But also with the coverage I've done in Brussels, very little I might add, but Sweden, France, and we talk about these dangerous areas. And as much as we do see an increase in violent crime, especially in Sweden, relative to Chicago, it's still very little crime. So I understand that an increase in crime is still shocking to the people who live there. But there's something to be said about what's going on in Chicago, and that it's bad. And there's places that are worse. Baltimore, for instance, Detroit, Camden. We got problems, you know. I don't know what the solutions are, but hopefully this video was an interesting look into the work of night crawling and what it means to go out all night and try and cover these stories and share this information. There's a few people from the Chicago Tribune that are here, but it can be very, very depressing. And when you sit here listening to the police scanner all night, man, I could not imagine what these cops listen to when they hear some of the most ridiculous things. I mean, we heard stories of people getting pied in the face. Like, seriously, some guys were throwing pies in women's faces, people exposing themselves, but then shooting after shooting after shooting. It is a complicated human existence. I don't know. So, I don't know. I guess it is what it is. And hopefully in time, we solve these problems. Well, let me know what you think. Comment below, and we'll keep the conversation going. If you like the video, click the like button. Not because you like what's going on, but because you like the work that I'm doing, right? New videos every day at 4 p.m. I'm gonna be in Chicago for a little bit longer before I head to Vegas and cover some hacker stuff. But yeah, you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Timcast. If you want to support the work that I do, you can go to patreon.com/Timcast. And you can also go to minds.com/Timcast. That's minds.com/Timcast. You can give whatever you'd like. On Minds, you can subscribe for exclusive behind-the-scenes content that I will try to put up as often as possible. But your support helps me do the work that I do. So thank you all so much for contributing. Thank you all so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I'll see you all tomorrow at 4.